Hello and welcome to the Division 4 Sac Joaquin section at the Power Balance Pavilion. Hello, I'm Bo Furtick alongside my partner Neil. Say your last name for him.
Martin.
Neil Martin it is, and we got a great matchup today between the number 1 seed Modesto Christian Crusaders and the number 7 Ripon Indians. Modesto Christian Crusaders coming in with the overall record of 25-5, while the Indians with an overall record of 19-12, both coming from the Trans Valley League, and Modesto going undefeated in that league and have yet to lose to Ripon in 16 games. What do you think about that, Neil?
It's definitely a battle of David versus Goliath. Ripon has lost, like you said, 16 times in a row to Modesto Christian, and not just that, but you look at the size of the players. Ripon much shorter than Modesto Christian at every major position. Like you said, you were down on the court before the game, and those guys looked like human towers out there. And Modesto Christian, 6 more wins, 7 less losses, and is a way higher seed. But that might play to Ripon's advantage. Ripon has been playing higher seeded teams the entire tournament. To get here, they had to beat both the number 2 and 3 seeds just to have a chance to play Modesto Christian in the final and get another shot at them. But if the numbers suggest anything and the history suggests anything, Ripon's going to have a hard time coming up with a victory here today.
Modesto, 13 section titles compared to Ripon's 0. This is actually Ripon's only second time here in the section title game. And talking to Coach Wright before the game, I asked him, are you playing the underdog card? And he says, we really have to in this situation because, one, we have lost to him 16 times in a row, and we beat the number 2 and number 3 seed. However, they did beat the number 2 and 3 seed earlier in the season. But when they faced the Modesto Christian Crusaders, they lost to them by 3 points in both games. And they actually held Modesto to their lowest scoring output, 38 points all season long. So if there's one team that can hold the offense of the Crusaders, slow them down a bit, it's this Indian squad.
Absolutely. They know how to keep them in check. They've gotten a chance to play them a lot, and a lot of veteran players have probably gotten the chance to play against the Crusaders 5 or 6 times throughout their career, so they know what to expect. However, same thing for the Crusaders. Probably the players on both teams know each other very well, but like you said, the numbers make it look like we could be in for a very good, close, entertaining game, and who knows, maybe for the first time in a while, David will come on top of Goliath and get a victory in this Division 4 Boys Basketball Championship.
It has happened before, and it could happen again. This type of atmosphere, this type of game allows players to step up, primetime players, and it really does give an underdog team like this an advantage. Starting lineups for the Crusaders: junior forward standing at 6'3", number 5, James Warwick. Number 21, Tyrus Rattler. 22, Sam Anochi, the junior forward. The junior guard standing at 6'4", Raymond Bowles. And rounding it off for the Crusaders, the 6'6" freshman center/forward Anthony Towns. And for the number 7 seed Ripon Indians, the junior wing player standing at 5'8", Anthony Bachoco. Cole Heron, their point guard junior, standing at 6 foot. Hank Gall-Swick, junior wing, standing at 6'1". And their backcourt is none other than Connor Jones, the senior forward, and it looks like number 24, Jake McCreath, their senior 6'4" forward as well. So they have some height, but overall Modesto Christian gains the advantage in height overall, and we're about to get started here at the Power Balance Pavilion. Thank you for tuning in here on CIF Sac Joaquin.tv, or if you're on YouTube streaming live, thanks as well. And Modesto Christian controls the ball in the white bottoms, white tops, heading right to left on your screen, and the Indians starting off in a zone with the red bottom, red tops, white trim. as the Crusaders turn that ball over. Nice dribble penetration. The Crusaders love to get to the basket early. They love to create fouls and head to the line.
And it looked like Ripon knew what to expect in that regard on that play. Great defense to get 3 bodies in the middle and not allow that easy drive on that last defensive possession.
And Bochoko resets the offense for the Indians. Modesto, in their usual man-to-man defense, hard-nosed defense, drive right, goes up.
Way to draw the foul there. Number 23 on Ripon, Connor Jones, the senior forward, a big-time leader on this team. That was a good play by him to get his big body in the air and draw the foul.
And the first point of the game goes to Connor Jones and the Indians with 7:13 remaining in this first quarter. Just getting started here at the Power Balance Pavilion. Power Balance Pavilion, that is. Say it one more time for the audience.
It was a lot easier when it was Arco Arena.
Right, exactly. And that's what was coming out firsthand. Home of the Sacramento Kings. Skip pass. Nothing there. Ripon dropping in a 2-3 zone. And that leaves it open from beyond the arc. But with a foot on the line, that was Tyler Rattler with the first bucket of the game with 6:45 remaining.
Nevertheless, a beautiful shot there to get the easy 2 points.
And the foul on Modesto will have number 5, Cole Herron, head to the line. Their junior point guard handles the ball really well, and he's the guy that really gets it going. He's a distributor, but when he sees holes, he loves to attack.
Absolutely, definitely a player that relies on his penetration and his ability to drive to the basket, has a good explosive first step to get around players, and has good finesse when driving.
And not only that, but if he can convert on a couple of those layups, it will only open up things from beyond. As Herron ties the ball game up 2 apiece. 6:35 remaining in this first quarter. Skip pass once again. Almost identical offense. Skip pass, try to get it to the far side. But once again, Modesto trying to create things inside the key and Ripon ready for it.
Nice defense. Once again, very similar to the first time they got Modesto Christian to turn the ball over. Just getting a lot of men in the middle and congesting the middle lanes.
Pajoko with the pass intercepted by Jones. Back the other way, ripped away by this time Rattler. Up and good. That was Coleswick with his first bucket. And Ripon back with the lead. And it's Ripon almost allowing Modesto to take the outside shots. They're almost saying take it, but they're not allowing anything inside the key. They're collapsing really well.
Which is kind of surprising that they're taking as many outside shots. We kind of figured maybe going into this game that with the size advantage they have, they would go inside more.
And that was Connor Jones with the drive penetration up and will head to the line to complete the 3-point play.
The senior forward looking pretty good here early on. Looks like he could be a very dynamic player for this offense.
Unable to convert. Modesto pushing the tempo. Has a man. Looks like he pulls up, drives, kicks it out. Weak side rebound by Ripon. Ripon doing a good job at not allowing second chance opportunities, that is.
Pretty good on the board so far considering their height disadvantage. We'll see if that continues here throughout the first half. Look for maybe an outside shot try here by Ripon.
Nice back cut, nice idea, but great help defense by by Bowles. And that one is knocked out of bounds, will remain Ripon ball as they bring in 3 new faces. Keeping it fresh because Modesto loves to push the tempo. Inbound pass under the bucket. 9 seconds on the shot clock. And we have an off-ball foul.
I didn't really get a good glimpse of what that was. Maybe an illegal screen away from the ball?
That was the call, actually. Illegal screen on Greg Taylor. Nonetheless, Ripon still up 6-2.
Wow.
This time, it's Rattler who drills the tray. All 5 points from the hand of Rattler right from that same spot, Neil.
He's looking good from the outside so far, getting good extension, good lift into the air, and able to have a nice motion of the wrist to follow through and just sink those shots from deep beyond.
Putting the hand in the cookie jar. This is Bowles. Nice trail. Good job by Rattler this time, and coming from behind and putting that one in for the bucket.
That was a good layup there. Wait for him to come in and clean that play up.
Right. Yeah, sometimes players will stop because they think, my player has this, but it's always the second chance opportunities that prove vital in that trail position.
Well, absolutely, and you saw that right there. The Modesto Christian player tried to go for the dunk, got a little cocky and missed it, but it turned out all right because of the follow-up shot.
Tough look down low. And Modesto Christian with a 7-6 lead, 3:40 in the first quarter. As I said earlier, Modesto Christian beating Ripon all 16 times they faced each other, both in the Trans Valley League, as Ripon looks to gain the lead back. And that was in between. Those calls are probably the toughest 2 call in this game.
That was a really, really excellent job by number 11, Josh McCreath right there, the junior guard for Ripon, to drive all the way down the court, almost went coast to coast and able to draw the foul. Just saw a lane and didn't hesitate at all. Just took an explosive drive to the hoop and drew the foul.
McCreath misses his free throw off to the left. And will try his second attempt at the line. And gets in the score box with a point and ties the game up 7 apiece. Once again, that cross-court pass, they're really trying to get that cross-court pass and getting the zone to motion and finding the holes. Nice pick on top. Leaves Rattler once again open. And it was an air ball. I thought it actually got tipped, but good job by Ripon in closing out on the shooter.
I think you're right. You know, Rattler does not typically miss that wide of the hoop. I'm almost certain that somebody got a finger on it on that shot.
Just under 3 minutes here in this first quarter at the Power Balance Pavilion. Nice pass down low, strong move, but nice help defense once again by Modesto. Going the other way, pull up, off the glass, count it.
That was an excellent play there by number 23 for Modesto Christian. That was Ray Bowles. He's 6'4" and a big guy, and he showed it right there using his frame to get up above another big man, Jake McCreath for the Indians, and just winning the battle inside on that play. That's just power basketball right there.
Completes the three-point play, and usually at this level you see a 6'4" guy, and he's almost like a forward or a center, you know, playing that 3-4-5 spot, but in this case, the athletic ability of a 6'4" man proves tough to guard.
Absolutely, and he's fast for his size, and we're seeing that here early on. He could provide a lot of problems for the Ripon Indians.
A great job by Heron in splitting the defenders, just unable to complete the layup. Open look, no shot. 12 on the shot clock. Nice spin move inside the key, going up and is fouled.
Tough shot there by McCreath, but the right idea to just get his arms up and try and draw the foul. So far, that seems to be the plays that both of these teams have been scoring on a lot here early on, is just drawing a lot of fouls. 7 fouls already, and we're not even through the first quarter.
5 team fouls for Modesto as that one rolls in slowly. And 2 team fouls for Ripon. So with 2:17 left, Ripon almost in the bonus. And those are easy points that you need to get against a quality team like Modesto.
Absolutely. That could go a long way to helping Ripon maybe go into halftime with a lead, but we'll see what happens here the rest of the half.
McCreath is good on both of his attempts at the charity line and cuts a deficit to 1 with 2 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. Working that far side, Modesto is trying to find the hole, pull-up jumper, and the 8-foot jumper is good by, once again, Raymond Bowles, his 5th point of the game. Poked away by Bowles.
Bowles all over the court right now.
Picked up by Guzman, who brings it up, kicks it over to Bowles. Back over to Rattler. They're really extending that offense, all the players above the free throw line, and trying to find that hole, trying to find that gap to attack. And we have a foul on the court.
Well, like you were just saying, they're looking for that inside lane and to drive inside, but save 1 3-pointer by Rattler, that's all we've seen from this Modesto Christian Crusaders offense so far. I would look for them to try and establish their outside shooting a little more, because Ripon is starting to sort of condense a little more towards the key right now to try and prevent that easy inside shot.
Galswick and Jones back in the game for Ripon. Coach Wright knows his success is going to be due to the fresh legs of his team, as Modesto loves to push the tempo. On that last shot, that was Bowles, short on his attempt. At the 1-minute mark here in the first, Modesto with a 3-point advantage. Pull-up jumper from beyond the charity strip, no good. Not a lot of second chance opportunities for either teams. Both teams doing a good job in boxing out.
Absolutely. Ripon has to do a good job of boxing out because they're so much shorter, whereas Modesto Christian hasn't exactly been good at boxing out here so far, but they're just so much taller that they don't really need to.
Galswick down to Jones. Nice big man move. Blocked out of bounds. And it will remain Ripon ball with 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock with 30 seconds remaining.
Nice physical defense by the freshman, the 6'6 freshman. That's a big guy. The center, Anthony Towns. That's the second block we've seen him get here early on. He's a physical player.
And a nice look down low. Modesto with their back towards the ball. Didn't see Greg Taylor sneak in and cuts the deficit down to 1 once again.
That was just too easy. And those are the kind of plays that if you're Ripon's head coach, you just got to be smiling to yourself.
Shot clock off, but Rattler takes the shot. Wide open shot. Thought he had, well, he did have a good look, but just unable to convert. A runner, ill-advised shot, kind of wild at the buzzer. And the first quarter over, a quick-paced game with Modesto slight edge, 12-11 over the Ripon Indians. On your home for high school sports, Play On Sports Network.
You can watch highlights or a replay of today's game in our on-demand section, and you can also buy a DVD or Blu-ray of today's game right on CIFSacjoaquin.tv. Click on Buy DVD, and you can order today's game right now. Have a game that lasts a lifetime. Brought to you by CIFSacjoaquin.tv. Looking for a great place to advertise your business while reaching the greater high school community? Then you want to advertise on CIFSacjoaquin.tv. We have great rates for your business while giving you the opportunity to get your message out to a very important demographic. For more information, give us a call at 619-677-3246.
That was my partner, Neil Martin. I'm Bo Fertig, and we have a number 1 versus number 7 seed. Not typically what you see in the title game, but nonetheless, Ripon Indians playing tough in this finals.
Well, it's like what you said pregame. Ripon is the only team that has been able to hold Modesto below 4 points, is what you said. They held them to 3 points in both the games they've played this season. So maybe Ripon knows something that we all don't about this Modesto Christian team, and that's been sort of their secret to success against Modesto Christian, even though they haven't been able to pull out a win yet.
Some teams just match up really well against other teams, whether it be the matchup height-wise, speed, athletic ability, and sometimes it's the coaching and just getting his team prepared because he's used to seeing a team like Modesto year in and year out.
Absolutely, and I think, like you said, coaching is probably going to be the key to this game. We've seen Ripon with a lot of mass substituting here early on. Like you said, Modesto Christian relies on keeping the tempo upbeat. But you've got to watch out if you're the Crusaders head coach, because you could run the risk of tiring out your own players, especially when you're facing a team with the depth of the Ripon Indians.
Jake McCreath at the line is good on his first attempt, ties the ball game back up, 12 apiece. McCreath, good again, gives Ripon back the lead, 13-12. Once again, the tempo push by Rattler. Ripon staying in that 2-3 zone. And what Modesto is trying to do on offense is trying to overload the one side, putting 4 players on one side of the court.
Yeah, and really Ripon's been doing a good job of just rotating smoothly on defense so far. They haven't allowed a whole lot of open looks, save a couple outside looks by Rattler and then a few easy shots inside. But they're doing a pretty good job on defense here.
First offensive rebound for Modesto to Anthony Towns as he gets fouled coming down. Good defense. Felt like he got ball. That's Anthony Bochoco. Got some of that wrist, though. And Bowles will head to line, shoot 2.
That would have been a beautiful block had he gotten away with that one, but he did get a little bit of wrist there. That's a tough one to call if you're a ref, but I think the refs got it right there.
Bowles, no good on his first attempt. Pretty much it's Bowles and Rattler right now, 10 of the 12 points for Modesto. And Bowles now leading all scorers with 6 and ties the ball game back up 13-13.
This is interesting. Modesto Christian running a full court press now. We haven't seen that until now. They tried a little bit of a trap over in the backcourt of Ripon. Backfires right here as they foul.
Right, it surprised Ripon too. Cole Herron, the point guard, didn't notice it at first, but did a good job in spinning away from the defenders, finding open space and getting fouled. And with 7 minutes remaining in this first half, Ripon already in bonus.
And now in the lead.
This game going back and forth. Bowles bring the ball up court near side. On top to Rattler. Tries to get past his defender. That 2-3 zone collapsing anytime someone gets near the key. Tough pass, the spacing right there, not what you wanted if you're Modesto.
Absolutely not. And number 5 right there, James Warwick, kind of got a little bit of a wake-up call there on that play.
I think he was almost trying to come out to give the pick. Just unsure of himself, kind of got caught in between, and because of it, took the ball off his face.
Certainly was not expecting that pass.
Open look by Jones and gives Ripon their largest lead, 16-13.
I tell you what, Connor Jones is surprising me here early on. He usually a great offensive player for the Ripon Indians, but right now he's the leading scorer for Ripon and really having an inspired effort here early on.
That last foul on number 23, Connor Jones, and Raymond Bowles will head to line, Rattler will head to line shooting 2. So it's been Rattler and Bowles, both, guards. Their front court runs this offense for Modesto.
Absolutely, and inside we've seen them get some good shots, but also they've been shooting outside. They can hit the shot from anywhere on the court. And when you have 2 guys that can do that, I'm surprised that they aren't up by a little more or at least sinking some more shots on offense.
Coast to coast and count it once again. Ripon doing a great job of attacking the basket. Unrelentless, this Indian squad is.
They're doing a great job driving inside right now. Surprising to everyone because they're so much shorter than Modesto.
And, sometimes that will almost instill fear into the other team. But when you face them twice, you know what you're going to get, and you're better prepared. And you could obviously see that with Ripon up 19-15. Nice look down low. And it's because Rattler has been so successful that players collapsed and left Towns wide open for the easy look.
Well, he's the leading scorer, but it's not just his scoring that is opening up the offense here for Modesto early on. He's had a couple of assists, a lot of good ball movement, which has been started by Rattler. He's sort of the court general right now for Modesto Christian.
And Ripon, once again, the off-ball foul, not typically what you see. They've done it twice already, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to get that back cut. They ran it earlier somewhat successfully, but trying to attack that back cut because Modesto runs that tough man-to-man defense in your face. .520 remaining in this first half. Modesto applying full court soft pressure. And that's a tough call right there. It looked like Greg Taylor was in position, had his feet set, but it was actually a good job by Ethan Cuthbertson to kind of throw his body around to make it look like it was more contact.
I tell you what, you got to give that kid an Emmy. That was some great acting right there. I think that was definitely just a good screen, but a little bit of an iffy call by the ref. That's all right. They see it better than we do.
Ethan Cuthbertson, his sister, actually played here tonight for Modesto Christian in the D4 final. So that's exciting to see as well, brother-sister combo in this title game.
Both players very good in their own respects.
And once again, it's Jake McCreath working hard down low, using his size and gaining the control and position down low under the basket.
Well, he's certainly wider than any other player on the court and is using that physicality to open up his shots. He's not jumping very high in the air, but he is using his momentum and his body movements in such a way as to shut defenders away from the basket,
right,
so that he has an easy path to the basket.
Right, it's all about body control when you get that low near the basket. As Heron falls to the floor, nonetheless gets back up, resets the play. McCreath down low, creates contact, and McCreath playing like the big man he is now with 8 points on the game.
He's looking pretty graceful for a big man down low right now, able to get his arms and body wherever he wants to go without really being challenged too hard by the Modesto Christian defenders.
Ripon with their largest lead with 3.5 remaining in this first half, playing solid ball up to this point. And talking to Coach Wright before the game, it was a must-needed hot start. The past few games, they fell behind early, and they had to come back late, exerting a lot of energy and falling short. This time, it's flipped around almost in this case, as Coach Porter for the Crusaders will call a timeout to grab a breather and talk to his team with 3:13 remaining in this first half.
Want to have your game broadcast live on the internet and be able to watch it again and again on demand while making money for your sports program? Want to give your students the opportunity to create their own broadcasts for your school's athletic events? Then contact us at info@kbcsports.com. We offer season packages for schools, a full curriculum for your students, and an opportunity to raise up to $10,000 for your sports program. Again, that's info@kbcsports.com, or call us at 619-677-3246.
Once again, we've seen a lot of league rematches in this title game as Modesto Christian won the Trans Valley League while Ripon finished in third place. Nonetheless, like we said earlier, Ripon did hold Christian to their lowest output with 38 points and lost both games by 3 points each time. So during the last game, talking to Coach Wright, and I explained this a little earlier, they were down 20 in the second half and exerted a lot of energy in coming back and just fell short because of the legs of his team. And that's why you saw a lot of fresh faces come in early in this first half.
Oh, yeah, and it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they play when they're ahead, because they haven't done that a whole lot in this tournament. I mean, they've had success playing from behind, but will they allow other teams to play from behind to beat them?
It almost is a different mentality.
It's a very different mentality. You know, when you're ahead, sometimes you have that temptation to get a little bit lazy and slack off a bit and not try your hardest on every play. Whereas when you're behind, you know that you're going to have to give 130% all the time just to get back in the game.
Eric Guzman unsuccessful on that triple. His first attempt on the game as Cole Herron brings the ball up for Ripon. Nicely guarded by Cuthbertson and gets the 5-second violation on the guard. What that is, ladies and gentlemen, is if a guard is guarding the ball handler and the ball handler doesn't make a move towards the basket, he gets called for the 5-second violation, one of the toughest defenses to do in this basketball game. Cuthbertson in and out.
That would have been a big shot if he had hit that. Just in and out. Really unlucky on that one.
This time, Herron goes right by Cuthbertson, and Cuthbertson giving some difficulties for the ball handlers of Ripon.
Well, it's interesting. Herron, typically a very dependable ball handler, the point guard for the Indians, so one of the best on the team. That's 2 mistakes in a row from him. Look for him to clean up his play a little bit. You don't see that too often.
And Cuthbertson making an impact off the bench as Bowles was looking for the foul call, none given. Cuthbertson 5'6", the smallest guy on the court. Pump fake, pulls it down, kicks it down to his big man, and McCreath unable to get that one to go in. Bowles the other way. Gets fouled on the shot and will head to the line to shoot 2.
Ripon's just been getting unlucky here in the past couple of minutes. A couple mistakes by Herron, a couple shots that have gone in and out, and right there, that to me looks like a charge.
Bowles is good on his first attempt. Now 14 out of the 18 points. Only 3 scores for Modesto. That's Rattler and Bowles with 7 apiece, and Towns with 4. And on the other side, Jake McCreath leading all scorers and Ripon scorers with 8 points. Once again, it's Herron bringing the ball up court, slows it down. Modesto playing that man-to-man defense. Poked away by Bowles. 1-on-1, gets fouled, and will head to the line. Once again, Bowles attacking the basket unrelentlessly, pretty much saying, I dare you to stop me because I know you can't.
Well, when you're that big and you're that fast and you have somebody shorter than you defending you and slower than you defending you, you're allowed to dare them to go after you because you know you have every advantage in the world when it comes to a one-on-one situation. The reason we haven't seen him making too many of those shots, though, is because there haven't been a whole lot of those one-on-one situations. Ripon doing a good job of getting several bodies on Modesto Christian's big men.
And Bowles converts once again, both times from the line, leading all scorers with 9 points. And because of it, Coach Wright will gather his players and set up an offensive play with 1:37 remaining in this first half. On your home for high school sports, Play On Sports.
CIF-SacJoaquin.tv will be providing live audio coverage of the state regional basketball championships as well as the finals. March Madness comes to high school basketball in California on March 17th for the regional basketball championships. 4 venues of coverage around the state. Then the following weekend, March 23rd and 24th, it's the California State Basketball Championships. You can catch it all on CIF-SacJoaquin.tv, your home for high school sports.
Ripon up by 3. They were up by 6 at one point. Modesto cutting to that lead a little bit. Cut the deficit to half. Once again, the on-ball pressure by Cuthbertson. And when you guard a ball handler that high, you have to have quick footwork. This time poked away by Guzman. Bowles picks it up and once again is fouled on the shot. So it seems Modesto kind of has Cole Herron's head a little clogged, not too sure of himself right now and taking advantage of it.
Well, credit most of that to Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson is just showing his agility here in guarding Herron. He's following him around the court and just shadowing him everywhere he goes, not giving Herron any space to make any sort of move. That's just good defense from one point guard to another.
Towns with now 5 points on the day. Cuts the deficit down to 2. As James Warwick comes back in to give Tyrus Rattler a well-deserved rest. 1:17 remaining. And Modesto, I'm not too sure at this live stats right now, but Modesto's shooting very well at the line, taking advantage of their opportunities.
Shockingly, they've needed that here early on.
Bowles back the other way, finds his player on the box. Weak side rebound, good. And Towns on the board. Good job working down low and gives Modesto back the lead. Now on a 7-0 run. The runner, no good. Warwick back the other way. Finds. Who's that? Bowles? Bowles? Yes, Bowles. Or yes.
Bowles.
Yes. Bowles. Raymond Bowles. Once again, now with 11 points, we've said his game a lot today.
And he has been a big key to Modesto Christian retaking the majority of the momentum here as we near the end of the half. He's had some key plays.
And now, with that successful attempt, Modesto shooting 10 of 12 from the line, thanks to our production assistant,
Dominic Brecco.
That's the man. Don't wear it out, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be hearing that name a lot down the future, along with Neil Martin, young studs coming up early in this Sac Joaquin Section Championship games. Baseline jumper. Nice weak side rebound and box out by Warwick. Guzman back the other way and will settle for one last shot here in the first half.
Look for Bowles to take an outside shot here.
At the buzzer. Counts if it goes, and does. And Raymond Bowles finishes a first half that he'll remember for a long time with 15 points. Modesto going on an 11-0 run to end the first half, up 28-23.
That was really, really just excellent play by Bowles near the end of the half. Registered 3 boards, got 4 second chance points. You saw him sink the 3 at the buzzer. Really, really just an inspired performance by him near the end of the first half. But it's not just him. Also, number 33, Anthony Towns did really good.
Came on late in that first half.
Yeah.
Right. And that will do it here for the first half at the Power Balance Pavilion. Be back with you after this short halftime break. Stay tuned.
3:16 left to go in this. 3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from
He
Dion.
took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just
Holy cow!
can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons wins. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder,
with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back in one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stag.
Hancock to his immediate left. Two receivers far side, one near side. Hancock on a counter, right side. He's inside the 10. He bounces off a tackler at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Helix. And behind Hancock, the field is littered with white jerseys on the turf.
Wow. Hancock not to be outdone by his fellow playmakers on offense. Put on a show on that short 12-yard touchdown run. Looked like he was down after 3 yards, just threw a defender on the ground.
As sophomore Chris Carter sits under center. In their tight wing formation, Lycos in motion. Second back through is Freeman. Freeman just knocking people over. Look at him run, breaks through, 4 tackles, and now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And Freeman's going to go the distance. Touchdown Imperial on the first play of the second half. 2nd and 6 for Imperial from their own 47. They're going to give it to Freeman again off the left side. And Freeman gets by one wave and down across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Look at him run down to the 20-yard line. One man to beat. Gets by him. Touchdown, Freeman. How did he do that? Holy cow. 64-yard touchdown run. His 5th of the game. Royce Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see the top rushing, and the as I look over to our partners at KXO Radio, the top rusher in the San Diego section for the next 2 years.
That's just amazing. That is just amazing. They hit him in the backfield. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. They hit him a couple of yards downfield. They hit him again near the goal line.
No 5-second count can be started. Nobody was close enough defensively. Lyle's going to swing left side. Robinson. Here is a backdoor lob for Grant. They've been wanting that all game. And they got it, 50-42. They lulled you to sleep, and then they hit Grant on the back door.
They trail by 2. McMorrow's kick is on the way, and it is good. St. Augustine has their first lead of the game, 21-20 with 25 seconds to play. The senior McMorrow with a huge kick, not the longest of his career, but the biggest of his career. St. Augustine leads it 21 to
already lining up. They won't even have to run that one more play. They just acquiesce.
Why bother?
So there you have it. Your 5-time defending Division III champions, the Cathedral Catholic Dons, running up, over, and through Olympian 41-0 here from Qualcomm Stadium.
Patriots down 21-17. Great ball game here. Dillon taking it, looking right, throwing it up top to Gaines. It will be caught by Gaines. Oh my goodness. It looked like the defender had it, but Gaines stole it away from him. Jason Gaines, are you kidding me, my friend? Oh boy. It looked like for sure we had an interception by the Tories, but as they both were going to the ground, Jason Gaines just wrestled it away from him. Shane Dillon to Jason Gaines on an 11-yard play.
Fanchon in the game, now out, replaced by Hayashi, the libero for defense. Wenzel serve. Championship point, ball up in the air. Hayashi's going to bring it back. Richards, deep one over and 3. Free opportunity. Look for Wallace. No, they go Becker. Hayashi, then tap over and 2 by Hollingsworth. Now look for Wallace for the match.
Kathleen Wallace. No better way for the Bulls to finish it than giving it to their senior leader.
25-12, 25-15, and with 8 straight points to close out their 3rd straight D5 championship on a kill by Kathleen Wallace. 25-21 in Game 3. Branson has won the D5 title.
To the backfield, it's Hernandez and Northcutt. Set to throw is Thomas. Has time. Goes for the home run. It's intercepted in the end zone. Seemed like they tried to go to Martin, and Martin slipped. Stockton, Hilmar, and Escalon. That's going to do it, folks. Victory formation taking Neal. The clock comes out. The clock will tick down. The players jumping up at midfield. I think I see a Gatorade. Did we have a Gatorade shower?
We most certainly did. Casey Taylor getting the shower there. Very much deserved.
Down to 12.
Great tackle there by Ronald Williams there to make the stop for Helix.
And the Helix fans are starting to celebrate here. This is going to be the final play. 5 seconds. Pow will hand it off. And they're going to get in the end zone. Touchdown. That's Keegan who gets in, but that's going to be the end of the ball game. 44-6 will be the score. So Oceanside scores on the final play of the ball game.
And gets a consolation prize just to make this is kind of say that, hey, we didn't get shut out.
So 44-6 is your score. And Helix is celebrating on the sideline. Oceanside streak of 7 straight championship games has been ended.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. Clock rolling. 3rd down and 15 for the Patriots. Dillon, he's got time, steps up. He's going to chuck it deep. He's got a man open. Seth Collins with a diving catch. He hauls it in at the 25. Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you right there. Dillon goes to show why he is a Division I prospect as he's able to step up, elude the pressure, see Collins down the field.
Hello and welcome back to the Division IV Sac-Joaquin Section Championship game between the number 1 seed Modesto Christian against the number 7 seed Ripon Indians. Once again, I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Neil Walker, or Neil Martin, the other one. And talk about it, Neil. What did you see in the first half? Talk about some individual performances.
Well, the biggest performances obviously came from the leading scorers for each team. Raymond Bowles for the Modesto Christian Crusaders picked up 4 second chance points, a lot of rebounds, was playing physically both outside and on the perimeter, ended up with 13 points in that first half. Jake McCreath for the Ripon Indians, though, the big man on the inside who had arguably the best performance for them. 8 points, no fouls, having a really clean first half. And he is just a beast of a man.
Getting started here, Modesto ended that first half on an 11-0 run. Ripon had their biggest lead of the game, 23-17. And due to the hot hand of Raymond Bowles, gave his team the edge. Great block down low, this time by Towns. Modesto Christian loves to push that tempo. Rattler kicks out to Warwick for a 3. Nice board down low by Towns. Now with 10 points on the game. Only 3 players in the scoring column for Modesto. As on the other side, 5 players. And one of those was Jake McCreath, now in double digits, the only player. And back the other way, Warwick with a quick answer. Fast pace here in the early going in the second half, Neil.
Warwick just said, anything you can do, I can do better to McCreath, and just went right around him to get that layup. This is looking like it could get pretty entertaining pretty fast.
Both teams fairly even in the first half. Ripon shooting 7 of 19 and MC 8 of 26. Once again, it's McCreath working down low. Gets his own board back and will head to the line to shoot 2.
Not just once, but twice. Really a nice physical effort inside. He wasn't going to let that play in without putting the ball in the basket or going to the line to shoot 2. Just a really determined big man. We're seeing him play just amazingly well so far here in this game.
Ripon now 10 of 15 from the line. So effective shooting from the charity strip. And on the other side, MC 10 of 13. So both teams keeping themselves within this game due to their fantastic free throw shooting.
Well, and the interesting thing about that is it does not look like this game is going to be won at the charity stripe because they're so even in that column. But the way these teams are playing with different individual performances right now and the strategies they're using, Modesto Christian does look to be like they're going to have a slightly better situation going into the later stages of this game if they can continue to execute the way they have been.
And a smart heads-up play by Ripon. Bodies flying to the floor, and Ripon had control, called a quick 30-second timeout. And we're going to stay right here, Neil. Talk about what Ripon needs to do in order to gain the lead back in this second half.
Keep feeding McCreath, but also establish your outside shooting a little bit more. You've had a couple open looks, but you haven't made a whole lot of three-point baskets, and eventually Modesto Christian is going to start playing McCreath tighter and tighter, and you can't just rely on one guy. And you see that with Modesto Christian, 3 guys with 7 or more points. It's making Ripon spread their defense out, and that's what Ripon needs to do to Modesto Christian.
And Modesto Christian applying full court pressure now out of the timeout, and that's what kind of gave them the lead back. They created a few turnovers, a couple quick buckets, and got them the lead at the end of the first half, still with the lead with 5:44 remaining in the third.
Well, the key matchup to watch, like you just said, they forced some turnovers and they started to play the full court press you're seeing right now. And the key matchup to watch is the one you're seeing right now. Number 5, Cole Herron, and number 1, Ethan Cuthbertson. Towards the end of the first half, it looked like Cuthbertson was starting to get in the head of Herron a little bit, and Herron coughs up the ball a few times and made a couple errant passes and errant spins.
McCreath blocked by Towns, but poked away by McCreath and picked up by Herron. Will remain Ripon ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock. And once again, an off-ball foul, their third of the game for Ripon on offense.
Well, Ripon relies on a lot of screens on offense, so you'll see that a couple times throughout a game with a team like this, but 3 away from the ball screen fouls. Maybe there's a play they're running that they just need to kind of get rid of.
Well, what it is the player who's given the pick has to set his feet, but the player coming off the pick has to allow that player to set his feet. So it's really the player in motion that sets up the screen. Towns down low. Good defense by McCreath, but the athletic ability and gaining position on the box will have Towns heading to the line to shoot 2.
McCreath looks a little exasperated there. I think he got all ball. He definitely got a little bit of the wrist, though, on that play. Good call by the ref.
Towns good on his first attempt. Now with 11 points, leading all scorers on the floor for Modesto. Kisses the front iron off the glass and good. Extends Modesto lead back to 7 with just under 5 remaining in this third period. Ripon a bit stagnant on offense.
Look for them to try to feed McCreath inside again.
McCreath on top of the key. Finds his man down low. Throws it away. One-on-one. And Raymond Bowles finishes that one easily.
How many times have we seen that this weekend in these boys basketball games? The team will get a steal, and the player who's on the fast break jumps as if he's going to dunk the ball and just realize he doesn't quite have enough height and just lays the ball in. I'd love to see a big dunk here before this weekend
I was
ends.
hoping for it. I was ready for it, but what it was as well was Ripon was getting back really well on defense and not allowing that guy to put it down, and that's something, especially in an atmosphere like this, that could really gain the momentum for one side. McCreath working hard down low. The runner, and good, the nice touch from McCreath. The other McCreath, Josh and Jake, coming to play today.
That was just really good physical basketball there, just to lay the shoulder into two guys, create space for yourself, and then put the ball right where it needs to be.
MC will regain possession down low after a loose ball goes out of bounds. And it looks, I don't know, from this viewpoint, it looked like that was over the back. I don't see how that foul was on McCreath because he was on the floor.
And he was holding on to the ball. He wasn't touching anybody else. I think you're absolutely right. I would agree with you on that one.
And that's two fouls that Coach Wright has his hands up in the air. What are you doing to my team right now? Another great block out, and this time the overback is prevailed. And like you said earlier, the size advantage for Modesto really makes Ripon work down low. They really have to work down low on the boxes to gain advantage.
And they've been doing a good job. The McCreath brothers have played wonderfully in the key all day today.
Almost poked away by Cuthbertson, who's all over the half-court defense, off the foot of Heron. And because of the pressure applied, Cuthbertson really has turned this game around for Modesto Christian.
He's incredibly agile, like you just said, all over the court. He's like a little road runner out there, just making breaks wherever the ball is. It doesn't even look like he's really keying in on one man. He's just going wherever the ball goes and getting in somebody's face.
Cuthbertson looks to shoot. Gives it over to Bowles, who goes up for the shot. A blocking foul. And it looks like Bowles on the ground. The foul was on the ground, so will remain MC ball under the basket with 2:41 remaining. And shot clock readjusted. Cuthbertson gets in the score box with his first bucket and gives Modesto their first double-digit lead of the game. Heron, a couple nice moves, but nice help defense once again by MC. Cuthbertson pushing the tempo. And this is the first game where I've seen fouls called and I'm not seeing them. I just don't see what is being called on the floor right now. So many off-ball fouls being called right now.
Yeah, and some of that comes with differences in the officials. There's different officials in this game than we've had in a couple of the earlier games. Maybe they're calling, a little more light contact than other officials than what we've seen throughout the weekend.
And we got a jump ball called, which also could, I've seen called a travel violation, but nonetheless, Ripon with the arrow pointing their way, looking to cut into this deficit down 10 at the 2-minute mark here in the third. Heron drives the lane. Falls to the floor. No foul call?
So we're not seeing half the fouls. Then the fouls that we think we do see aren't fouls. This is why we're not officials, I guess.
Exactly. My point exactly. We got the easy job up here, though. Away from all the action. And Heron, this time, gains the advantage, puts the ball on the floor, and will head to the line to complete the old-fashioned three-point play.
Heron's been pretty quiet so far today. A little surprising considering how good of an offensive player he usually is. He's still under 10 points.
And rushed that free throw right there. As you can tell by that shot, but a lot of it you have to give credit where credit is due. And Cuthbertson applying a lot of pressure on Heron, taking him out of his game. Warwick looking down low to Townsend, kicks it out to Cuthbertson. Nothing there. Reset the offense, 10 on the shot clock. Rattler looking to go one-on-one, pulls up just inside the arc. Nice board by Towns. And Bachoco picks the ball up, going the other way with 1:10 remaining in this third. Heron drives once again right side. Nice board by McCreath. We haven't said McCreath's name too much this third quarter, but making his presence felt down low in this game.
Hasn't been scoring too many points, but he's still been getting his fair share of boards and playing good defense and just doing all the things that aren't going to get you a whole lot of glory points, but doing the things that need to be done and getting stuff done for his team.
Both teams effective shooting from the line here today, but as the game comes down to the wire, you can tell the legs are getting a little tired here in this ball game. And we have a timeout after that free throw conversion by Coach Wright here on your home for high school sports, Play On Sports Network.
KBCSports.com and the Play On Sports Network showcase great high school games every week, and now you can access our content using multiple platforms. Follow us on Facebook, get the latest KBC and Play On news on Twitter, or catch our highlights in high definition on YouTube. All of our content can now link to your favorite social media site. Share all the high school action you see every week, brought to you by your home for high school sports, KBCSports.com and Play On Sports Network.
That was my partner, Neil Martin. I'm Bo Fertig here on Play On Sports Network, broadcasting at Power Pavilion, the home of the Sacramento Kings. Looking at some stats, defense is what coaches really press here in this area. A lot of defensive pride is taken, and both teams shooting under 35%. Low-scoring affair for the most part. Like we said, both these teams facing each other before, so they know what to expect.
Neither one of these teams, like you said, an offensive powerhouse, that's for sure. They don't have any player who is just individually incredible, who's going to go out and score 30 points a game or anything of that sort. But both teams have a lot of big guys who are going to get in the way, fill lanes, get their hands up, and just stop any sort of ball movement. Plus, you also have guys like Cuthbertson from Modesto Christian who are quick and agile and are just in your face.
Cuthbertson beyond the arc. No good. Towns almost came down with it, but stripped away by McCreath. Heron back the other way. Throwing some moves. Nice look down low to his big man, Connor Jones, who we haven't heard a lot of today because he has been in foul trouble. 3 personal fouls in the first half, so he got some rest. But nonetheless, Ripon cuts his deficit to 5. Shot clock off. Nice defense by Heron. Jump ball. And will remain MC ball down low. Surprising quick shot by Rattler. You'd almost, in this situation, see majority of the time work for the last shot, but Rattler felt he saw something in the zone.
Well, we saw that near the end of the first half, too. We saw that with Bowles. He took a quick shot near the end of the first half. He could have run out the clock and maybe run a play and saved time and to take a good last look. But instead, they only wasted about 7 or 8 seconds on their own side of the court, took a quick shot and missed it, and then Ripon ended up getting some points.
And a foul after the missed shot. Both teams now each with 16 fouls. 16 on the game clock, no shot clock. Rattler looking for Towns down low, finds Cuthbertson, for three. McCreath picks it up. Count if it goes. Oh! Almost. Modesto keeps the lead here in the third period, 39-34 on your home for high school sports, the Play On Sports Network.
Need a highlight video for your athlete working to earn that 4-year scholarship? Then you want to contact kbcsports.com. We can provide recruiting video for any athlete in any sport. Not only that, but we give you your own recruiting page right on our website. No more mailing DVDs to colleges. Instead, email coaches the link to your personal page. For more information, including pricing, contact us at recruits@kbcsports.com or call us at 619-677-3246.
And the Ripon fans getting into it, trying to pump up their squad, down 5. Yelling the chant, I believe that we will win. And they do believe after beating the number 2 and 3 seed in this tournament, Neil.
You know what? If there's any team that could make an amazing comeback, it is this Ripon Indians team, coming behind twice to beat 2 other great teams in this tournament, the 2nd and 3rd seed. They've played stellar from behind. They've proven now that they can't play ahead. Maybe that's because they aren't comfortable with it, though. Maybe this is the situation that they subconsciously kind of wanted to put themselves in to perform under pressure.
And Ripon, one of 2 teams with the 7th seed to make it to this game, as Towns blocks McCreath coast to coast. McCreath back on defense, and Towns, both guys showing their athletic talent. Towns getting to the cup quick, and McCreath getting down and not allowing him to get the easy bucket.
You do not expect either one of those guys to move as fast as they do. They both are really big-framed, tall guys. But like you said, athletic as anything. Nobody's ever going to knock their athletic ability.
McCreath now with 3 personal fouls. That gives Ripon 17 fouls. So from this point on, the Crusaders will be shooting free throws after every foul and increases their lead back to 7, just under 7:50 remaining, just getting started here in the 4th quarter. Heron drives left, doesn't get a good look, and MC does such a great job in collapsing on the driver.
They're taking a page out of Ripon's book. Ripon's been doing that all day long, and Modesto Christian has been doing a progressively better job of it throughout this game.
Heron once again, down to McCreath, blocked by Towns once again. Great job on the loose ball by Rattler. The runner by Bowles, and Bowles now with 17 points on the day, leading all scorers. Heron once again, jumper just inside the free throw line. Heron with the rebound, and it will go back to MC.
I tell you what, Bowles is looking exactly like he did at the end of the first half when he got hot. He just had 2 blocks on that defensive possession, just got some points at the end of the court. If he gets hot again here, Modesto is going to run away with this one.
31 of the 43 points coming from Bowles and Towns. As it looks like we have another foul on Ripon. That's their 8th team foul, and because of it, Crusaders will head to the line in the bonus. Heading to the line for the first time today, Sam Onochi, as a few more Ripon players come on the court. That's Josh McCreath and Kyle Wingle. And Onochi finds himself in the score box with his first point of the day. Giving Modesto back that double-digit lead. Onochi, 2 of 2 from the line. And Modesto now with their biggest lead, 45-34. Heron just loses the ball. Good job on getting back on defense, but even better finish by Sam Anochi, who's starting to get it going here in the fourth. Now with 4 points.
Modesto's got a lot of players that are getting hot at the right time, and as a result, this is their biggest lead of the game.
McCreath, nice move. All alone, puts it down for the jam.
There
it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, Neil, for that matter. Gets his dunk for the day.
Couldn't be happier with it. That was sweet.
It would have been nice with a nice little windmill action, but nonetheless, puts it down. And Modesto now with their biggest lead of the game. If you're the Ripon head coach, if you're Coach Wright, what are you telling your players in this situation?
Oh, man, what do you have to tell them if you're a coach? You were just down by only about, 4, 5, 6 points. Now, in just about a 2-minute span, you're down by 15. And nobody seems to be able to hit any sort of shot. What you've got to do is you've got to calm your players down and find some way to get them to forget about the past few minutes and go in with the idea of we need to drop everything and play our best basketball because there's 6 minutes till our season could be over.
Do you start settling for three-pointers down 15 with 6:08 remaining?
You would have to start taking some more outside looks, but you do want to still feed the McCreath brothers down inside. They're your best players, and if Modesto Christian is up by as much as they are, they're going to be expecting you to take outside shots, so they'll probably spread their defense out a little bit more, and that could open up some shots for the McCreath brothers.
Yeah, if Modesto gives Ripon that open look from beyond the arc, take it, but still attack the basket. Modesto now with 16 fouls. The next foul will put Ripon in the bonus, and whenever you can score points with the clock stopped down 15, it usually helps out or it makes the situation better. Heron splitting defenders. Nice move by Wangle, just unable to finish. And once again, whenever a ball handler gets inside the key, MC does such a great job in collapsing.
And you find yourself running into 3 or 4 guys that are 4 or 5 inches taller than you, especially if you're Heron, who we've seen the #1 victim of having turnovers in the key.
Ripon applied a little bit of full court pressure. MC beat it easily, and Tyrus Rattler back on the board for Modesto. His first bucket in the second half, and we have a push from behind as Heron will head to the line to shoot 2.
Things are looking grim here for Ripon. Modesto is starting to make things look easy. And it's when that starts to happen that you've got to be feeling nervous. And if you're Ripon's head coach, you have to wonder where that kind of play has been the rest of the game.
Modesto and Ripon both in the bonus. So any foul after this, each team will head to the line. Cuthbertson takes it to the hole strong. And a hard foul by McCreath. And we have some jabbing between players. And McCreath will get called for the technical foul. And a good job by Ray Simmons in calling that technical foul, because it looked like McCreath, the fact that Modesto has extended this lead the way they have, McCreath, I'm sure, a little upset and a little furious in how this game has kind of turned out.
Well, it's certainly not his fault Ripon is down by as much as they are. He's played great defense. He's the leading scorer on the floor right now for Ripon. Just fouled out, though, with that technical. Not the way I'm sure McCreath wanted his day to end.
Yeah, McCreath, a solid day overall, but the speed and athleticism down low really proving vital for this MC team, as Cuthbertson will take the free throws after the technical foul with 5.5 remaining. giving Modesto now their largest lead. And Cuthbertson will shoot all 4 because he was the one to head, or he was the one that drove to the lane and got fouled. So he shot those 2 personal fouls, and now he's shooting 2 technical fouls. I'm not sure if he's their usual, typical free throw shooter for technical fouls, but the way he's played today, why not give it to him if you're Coach Porter?
Yeah, he's played great, especially on defense. Not a whole lot of points, 6 points on the day, but he has left his mark mainly on defense. We've seen him playing against Heron most of the day, and I can think of about half a dozen occasions where he has come up with a steal or just a really excellent play on defense.
Rattler shimmy, finds his man down low. That's Towns. And Towns now with 16 points on the day, starting to heat up late, down low. Heron, nice crossover, bounce pass, and count it. Greg Taylor with the bucket will head to the line.
Crusaders number 33, 4th personal, Anthony Towns, 18 foul. That's the 1 shot at the line for number 42, Greg Taylor, for the Ripon Indians.
And completes the 3-point play. Greg Taylor cuts the deficit down to 17. And another off-ball foul. I couldn't remember the last time I've seen so many off-ball fouls. And you'll get that a lot with 3 referees because they have more eyes on the court. Usually during like a regular season game, you'll have 2 referees. But in this case, because this game has so much writing on it, they'll roll with 3 referees.
I think you're definitely right about that. Like we were talking about much earlier in the game, when you have 2 referees, it's normal to see 1, maybe 2 off-ball fouls, but I think that's the 5th one we've had in this game, and it's really the only explanation there is.
Modesto just keeps increasing that lead, and we have another technical foul. I don't know if it was on the coach, and it looks like, from the words from my assistants, it was on the assistant coach. And there, you could tell it's starting to get to him right now, Neil.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating. We're 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. When the 4th quarter started, you're only down by 6 points, and your team has essentially fallen apart. You are now down by 21 points, and it's not because the kids haven't played well. Sure, there were a couple mistakes made, but there's probably been a couple coaching issues. We saw the assistant coach get knocked for technical, and if you're a coach, there's really no excuse for that. But also, you know, just Modesto Christian stepped up their play, especially on defense in this second half. Like you've been mentioning a lot, they've been playing a lot faster and a lot better with their shifts on defense, especially in the key.
As Bowles will head to the line to shoot 2. They are really playing up to expectation. The number 1 seed Crusaders are. Being to this title game 13 times beforehand. And just some numbers to throw out. Crusaders in last year saw their 46-game winning streak end in the semifinals. And they're seeking to extend its record of 14 titles. And that is insane, the amount of titles that this team has provided year in and year out.
They're definitely a dynasty if ever there was one in the Division IV men's basketball league that they're in.
This is their 16th finals appearance, so I guess 13 out of 16 they've won, so a great percentage. And they're actually tied for Jesuit, who is also playing in this finals with 16. So 2 powerhouses coming to their own this year and playing really well down the stretch. Josh McCreath Loose ball and a foul on the floor. Okay. Ripon has the ball in control, and they call a holding call on Ripon. I mean, I've seen a lot of basketball all the time. I'm still fairly young, don't get me wrong. Still have much to learn in this game. And I'm usually pro-official, but when I see a foul called, when a team has when you see players throw up their hands, it's usually a good indication. Nonetheless, MC has this game under control as they're playing with style and flair right now, really coming into their own down the stretch.
Yeah, we've seen a dunk. We've seen some nice little dish passes on offense. A lot of flash that we've been seeing here in this fourth quarter. They're playing really well on offense. Same cannot be said for Ripon, who have been unfortunately struggling, not really all the way through the second half, but they have been in this fourth quarter.
And it looks like another player has fouled out for Ripon. And that was
Connor Jones.
Connor Jones had a tough game overall. Had 3 personal fouls really quick, kind of took him out of his rhythm, and he never got back into it in the second half. And you have to give credit to the driving and athletic ability of MC, really relentless towards the hoop, creating a lot of fouls down low and making the referees call the fouls when needed. And I think that's the first trip to the line where MC has missed both attempts, doing a really good job all day. Now with 4:20 remaining in this ball game, Modesto with a commanding lead, never looking back in the second half. Heron pulls up with the foot on the line. Jumper no good. Rebounded by Bowles. Rattler guarded by Heron. Over to Anochi. Back to Rattler. That's a three-point shot. No good. Offensive board by Anochi. Goes up strong and gets fouled on the shots by Bachoco.
They just play excellent basketball in the key. There's just no other explanation. They have 3 players in Towns, Bowles, and Anochi. Also Rattler too. 4 guys that they aren't going to score a whole lot of points, but they just know how to use their bodies all over the court to pick up fouls and make the easy baskets that they're given.
Anochi 1 of 2 from the line. 3 players in double digits. Rattler with 11, Bowles with 21, and Towns with 18. So it's really been 3 players on the offensive side for MC. But when you put up that many points, which is 3 players, what is that, 39-40. So 3 players have the same amount of points as their opponent, 40-40, if my math does me right. And I think it does. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 21, 18, 11 is 40. So right. Or, no, excuse me. That's 50.
Yes, sir.
50. I saw you looking at me funny, and I'm like, I know I'm doing my math wrong. It's been a while since I've done my math, as you can tell. But 3 players outscoring the whole Ripon side, 50-40. That's impressive. The Crusaders moving the ball around the perimeter, find Towns down low. And we spoke about it before, the size of Modesto Christian really puts pressure on the Ripon Indians down low, and they almost have to create certain fouls just to get the position on these guys.
You're definitely right about that one. And when you're that much bigger, there's certain areas where you're going to find the ball a lot easier to get in the basket than others, especially when you're playing a team like Ripon, who is faster than you. So I think you're on to something there.
Loose ball picked up by Heron. Coast to coast off the backboard, no good. 2 Indian players with the ball. It was almost a jump ball between 2 Indian players.
Looks like it should have been.
The arrow pointing towards the Indians. 3:01 remaining in this ball game. McCreath, pump fake. Good idea by McCreath right there, getting his opponent up in the air. Wasn't going to take the shot necessarily, but he knew when he had his player out of position, went up for the shot and got fouled. Looks to shoot 3 shots from the line. Misses his first.
Looking around the pavilion right now, we're
starting to fill in a little bit.
Quite a crowd. We have more people here right now than we've had here the entire weekend.
And we have another good one at the 4:30 game. Season-long favorite Antelope plays another surprising number 7 seed, Lodi. And like I said, Lodi and Ripon, the only 7 seeds to make it to this point. And they also beat the number 2 seed Sacramento and the number 3 seed McNair. So both 7 seeds playing tough opponents to get to this point and well-deserving for the title games. And it looks like this game's all but over with 2:40 remaining. And MC looks like they're going to get their 14th section title as Towns makes that shot and gives him 21 points. 2 players now with 21 points, Towns and Bowles. And it looks like Coach Porter called that timeout and will bring in some reserves with a huge advantage with 2:35 remaining.
Catch the best of Sac Joaquin section basketball on CIF SacJoaquin.tv. You can watch a replay of today's games after each one concludes. Plus, check out game highlights, player of the game interviews, and more. Or order a DVD or Blu-ray disc of the game. We're your home for basketball in Sacramento. CIF SacJoaquin.tv.
MC looks to improve their lifetime playoff record to 63-12. And Ripon will drop to 18-20 in their playoff record. The other time Ripon made it to the finals was in 2005 when they lost to Escalon. And Modesto Christian, 97, 98, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003 through 2008 had a nice run. And 2009, 2010 missed out, lost in the semifinal game, like I said last year, when they got their 46-game winning streak snapped. Nonetheless, coming back strong this year, will improve their record, overall record, to 26-5. And Indians will get the ball back. Actually, scratch that. Back to MC, taking the ball out on the sideline. And fresh faces for MC, all the starters out. So let's name some guys. Eric Guzman, Tim Groen. Looks like number 2, Daniel Bell White. That's Leandro Amador down low, working hard. And trying to get the other number. Can't quite catch that number. He's on the ball right now. Number 4, Tim Groen. And number 20, Markel Clayton. .130 remaining.
Ripon also with all their starters out. Kyle Head, Chasen Martinson, Colin Baker, Tanner Jordan, and Edison Salvador in for the Indians.
That's a deep tray from beyond the NBA three-point land. Good defense by Guzman. And Ripon will head to the line. Tanner Jordan. Or excuse me, that's number 11, Josh McCreath. And just under a minute remaining. Stay tuned for our next game between the number 1 seed Antelope and number 7 seed Lodi. That should be an exciting matchup here on your home for high school sports, the Play On Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in. Also streaming live on YouTube. You can also catch a replay of today's games on our CIF Play On Sports Network channel. All these games will be posted 10 to 15 minutes afterwards, after the completion of this game. And that's Markel Clayton, who gets in the score box for the first time today.
A really respectful move by the Modesto Christian starters, that every time any of their backup players make a play on the sideline, the Modesto Christian starters are jumping up and cheering like no tomorrow.
And the 5'10" junior, Michael Davila, will come into the game for the first time. Huge round of applause for him and his MC crew. As Chasen Martinson converts on his free throw attempts. Grown guarded by Head. Davila. And that will do it here for the Division IV boys. Section champions go to the number 1 seed, Modesto Christian Crusaders. Congratulations to Coach Porter and the Crusaders, as they will have a home court advantage in the regionals. And Ripon, their season's still not over, will head on the road to play in the regionals.
Really great game overall today. You got to be a little bit disappointed for Ripon. It's got to be heartbreaking to come within 4 points again at one point of a team that you've gotten so close to beating a few times, and then to just sort of kind of fall apart in the fourth quarter like they did. Was, you know, a combination of it was really just unexpected. Really, normally a poised team. They're excellent players, excellently coached. They got 2 technical fouls. 2 of their best players fouled out very early on and were held to less than 15 points each. Really just sort of an abnormal day for the Ripon Indians, and as a result, I mean, let's face it, they got crushed.
Yeah, they really did. Huge congratulations goes out to Coach Porter and the Crusaders, and that will do it here for this Division IV boys title here in the Sac Joaquin section at Power Balance Pavilion. Be back with you in just a bit as we have the number 1 seed Antelope versus number 7 seed Lodi on your home for high school sports, the Play On Sports Network.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity, and they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback, a second opportunity by Bosback. Lip violation call. Winner. It's over the neck call. Oh my goodness! Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take it 3 games to 2.
36-35 and driving, and oh, baby! Shrigley with the jam, and it was with emphasis. And it's the foul, and listen to these fans.
Do you know who's standing up right behind us? Tony Bland, who is the head recruiter for San Diego State. I think he's drooling. Somebody get that man a napkin.
Quick score on this drive. There goes a handoff to Zeller, trying to go straight ahead, but he is met by Wall. Now he breaks out to the outside, gets across the 30, 35, on the right, 40, midfield. He's running down the sidelines. He's going to go all the way as he's at the 10, 5, touchdown. Patrick Zeller he stood up at the line of scrimmage and broke out to his left to the far sidelines, and he was in a foot race, and he went all the way for the touchdown. Broke a tackle and made it nice and showed his speed as he got outside for the touchdown.
Back in the backfield to the left is Campbell. Hernandez takes the snap, play action to Campbell. Looks down the field. Now here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit. He breaks the tackle, rolls left. Now he's going to cut upfield. He's going to break another tackle, and then another tackle down the sideline. Gets a block inside the 5. What a touchdown! Hernandez goes 33 yards in spectacular fashion, breaking 4 tackles along the way, including 2 in the backfield, and Hilltop has tied this one up at 29.
And reasonably so. He's been doing a good job of leading this offense. Looking for his first touchdown pass of the season for Ray Hudson. And Ray Hudson gets both feet inside the end zone. Touchdown Foothill.
Like you said earlier, 6'2" body frame, and can probably, what we just saw there was getting Randy Moss, was what we call getting Moss. Clearly just leaped over the defender there, landed both feet in bounds.
Grant with a big, strong defensive rebound. He brings it back down the floor again, and another slam dunk. Jeremy Grant can run the point, and he can fly. Huge dunk, 2 big dunks in the last minute.
Bullard trying to close it out. Deep ball, up in the air, Cram. Bringing it back, Arbizo. Cram over in 3, free opportunity. Look for Rodabaugh, no, pass middle, Weimer! Ball game. 25-19. Foothill wins it 3-1.
Because this kid has definitely proven that he can make things happen here in this ball game.
They will go with him. Bula Graft on a stretch run, just breaking tackles. The little man is in the clear to Tory territory. The 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Knights. What a run, the freshman, Bula Graft.
Ooh, I tell you what. There were at least 3 times on that run that he should have gone down or he should have been wrapped up. Missed tackles there cost La Jolla Country Day as Bula Graft, the freshman running back for Bishops, is able to take it in. And that was a determined run there, Andy. So
1st and 10.